Okay, so pag-usapan lang po natin yung latest development sa 2026 impeachment ni Vice President Sara as of today po, June 29, 2026. Kasi medyo po tayo, actually blinded po yung public kung ano yung nangyayari kasi yung mga documents hindi naman po pinapakita sa atin. Like today lang po, kung makita nyo dito, sinabi ni Senate Impeachment Trial Court Clerk of Court, who is also the Senate Secretary, Attorney Bantug, na yung pretrial order was sent already to the parties, which is the prosecution and the defense. Pero despite it being sent to them, ay hindi po pinakita sa public. Tapos alam din naman po natin sa pretrial conference or yung pretrial conference na very recent lang natapos, ay hindi rin po yun brinodcast or pinablicize. So in simple terms, nagre-rely lang po tayo actually sa mga press con, sa mga statements ng prosecution at ng defense. So if you ask me, it is actually very weird na hindi na lang nila i-broadcast yun, pero nagpe-press con naman yung prosecution at defense. Kasi in that situation po, napapublicize din naman yung mga certain matters, pero ang nangyayari lang doon, controlled lang ngayon kung ano yung gusto ipalabas na information. Pero yung point ko lang po dito, despite it being controlled, ay may certain matters pa rin po in relation to the impeachment ay nalalaman ng public. So it would have been better po kung ako lang tatanungin na pinablicize na lang talaga nila lahat, brinodcast, para fully transparent, diba? Kasi we have to remember, yung impeachment naman is a quasi-political and quasi-legal na proceeding. Therefore, dun pa lang sa quasi-political side, mas maganda sana na makita rin namin, the taong bayan, kung ano talaga yung nangyayari dun sa impeachment. Kahit na po, pre-trial lang to. Kasi, yun nga, quasi-political siya, diba? Baka makatulong din to sa amin na mas ma-educate po kami as the voters po or as the electorate ng mga politicians na involved dito sa impeachment process. Okay, so good day po to all of you, my fellow taong bayan, mga Kasimor. So yan po, pag-usapan natin yung latest sa impeachment ni VP Sara ngayong gabi. Okay, so for the facts po ng discussion natin, yung pinakabago lang po talagang development ay ito, yung pretrial order which was sent today. Tapos binigyan po ng 3 days na time frame yung both parties na mag-comment dun sa pre-trial order. So yung first day po niyan will be tomorrow, July 30, and then July 1, then July 2. So by July 2 ay dapat meron ng response yung both parties sa pre-trial order or kung ano po yung comments pala nila sa pre-trial order. And then yung isa pa po na maganda lang din i-take note nyo dito ay based on all the news articles I've read regarding the conclusion of the pretrial, ay inassure naman po ng Senate Impeachment Trial Court via their Clerk of Court ay magsa-start naman daw po yung impeachment trial talaga dun sa July 6, which is the date provided po ng Senate Impeachment Trial Court. Okay, so yan lang naman po ang pinaka-facts talaga natin. Ngayon po punta tayo sa first interesting question natin, which is itong tungkol sa kay Mary Grace Piatos kasi nilista po siya as a prosecution witness ng prosecution. So yung issue po dito is kung ano kaya ang value nito ni Mary Grace Piatos dun sa confidential fund issue na ina-allege nila against VP Sara Duterte. Okay, so una po ang masasabi ko lang dito is ngayon kasi it is being made to appear sa mga press cons po, sa mga statements, media posts na nakikita ko na sobrang big deal pag hindi daw mag-appear itong si Mary Grace Piatos sa actual trial as witness. We have to remember yung actual issue is whether or not there was confidential fund misuse. Yun po yung main issue dyan sa article of impeachment na yun. Hindi naman kasi yung main issue dito is whether or not a-attend ba si Mary Grace Piatos or kung Mary Grace Piatos ba talaga yung totoong pangalan nung witness. 'Di ba? So, yan ang dapat una talaga nating maintindihan. Kasi let's say hindi po talaga umattend to si Mary Grace Piatos, madami pong possible reasons dyan kung ako tatanungin ninyo. Kasi number one, we have to remember this is a confidential fund issue. So pag confidential, meron po talaga yung mga confidential matters that cannot be disclosed in public. And if you actually read the COA Joint Circular, meron pong rules at guidelines doon in relation to confidential matters. So ang kailangan talaga mapakita dito ng prosecution is paano yung flow ng funds na nag-result yun siya to a misuse. Hindi yung appearance or non-appearance. Kasi this is, at best, kung ako po ang tatanungin, circumstantial lang. Meaning, it is going to support lang the main evidence in relation to the misuse, the actual misuse na mapakita. Kung meron po talagang misuse na mapakita ng prosecution. Pero kung hindi nila ma-establish na yung fund was na misuse talaga, kahit na po hindi to pumunta si Mary Grace Piatos, it's going to be irrelevant to the case. So medyo na po yun, technical, but hopefully you get the point, because again, yung main issue po talaga dyan is whether or not there was misuse, hindi po whether or not Mary Grace Piatos will attend the hearing. Diba? Ngayon kasi ginagawang sobrang big deal na yung mere absence, automatic may misuse agad ng confidential fund. Hindi po yun ganun, kasi like what I stated, ito ang si Mary Grace Piatos, his or her non-appearance or whether or not ito ba yung real name niya, kung meron ba talagang ganong tao, is circumstantial lang at best. Kung ako po tatanungin ninyo, hindi siya directly magpo-prove ng misuse. Kasi kung titingnan nyo po yung chain of events niya, nandun na yan siya sa may dulo kasi siya lang yung recipient ng confidential fund naman. So you have to prove first yung first few steps before ka pumunta sa dulo. Ngayon kasi pag titingnan lang natin, parang na-skip lahat ng part, nandito na, since hindi nag-appear yung witness ito nasa dulo, ibig sabihin may misuse agad. Hindi po yun ganun. Kung ako ang tatanungin po ninyo, yun po yung legal point of view ko from how I see and understand the rules on evidence. Okay, so yan lang po. Again, tandaan natin, the main issue is whether or not there was confidential fund misuse, hindi po whether or not kung sino ba talaga to si Mary Grace Piatos or kung whether or not a-attend ba siya o hindi. Okay, so yan lang po ang masasabi ko as to this Mary Grace Piatos issue. Hopefully po, wag nyo lang siya tingnan talaga yung mga statements ng prosecution and of course, ng defense din on a political point of view lang. Kasi we have to remember the impeachment process is quasi-political at may quasi-legal aspect din po yan. So dapat masunod din yung mga rules of procedure niyan. Hindi pwede yung baka sabihin nila ng senators, ay pagbotohan na lang natin. Diba? Baka biglang puro ganun na lang yung gawin nila eh. So yun yung mahirap din. Again, just gentle reminder po, a respectful reminder to all our senators na this is a quasi-political and quasi-legal process. Okay, so yan po. Ngayon po punta naman tayo sa next question natin, yung tungkol naman sa sheriff kay Abby Andres. Kung ano kaya yung magiging role naman nun or importance sa impeachment. Okay, so more or less halos same lang din po yung theory behind, yung legal theory na ma-explain ko dito dun sa Mary Grace Piatos na issue. So dito, this is again circumstantial at best kasi yung main point nila dito, gusto nila ma-establish yung violent tendencies daw ni VP Sara dun sa may ginawa siya or may sinabi po siyang mga highly interesting na statements against the President, the Speaker, the First Lady dun sa isang press con ng isang gabi kung saan nagkaroon na ng initan prior nun sa sa HOR committee hearings. And they want to present as a witness dito si Mr. Abby Andres, the former sheriff of Davao, as a witness to, yun nga po, establish the character ni VP Sara na may tendency talaga siya for violence. And then number 2, yung magiging counter lang po dito ng defense niyan is kung may ganitong isang instance that happened in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, pwede na sabihin ng defense from that time up to present or up to the date nung nagkaroon nung highly controversial na press con si VP ay wala naman siyang sinuntok, 'di ba, na ibang tao na pwede ma-constitute as a violent character, 'di ba? So yan, magbilangan na lang po sila, 1 day of violence versus how many days of non-violence. And we also have to remember si Abby Andres, he is not an expert din naman, an expert witness that will determine whether or not may violent tendencies ba yung isang tao. Ang mangyayari lang kasi niyan ngayon, kung let's say patawag talaga siya, tas umattend siya, ang nakikita ko lang dyan, tatanungin lang siya about what happened, and then kung ano yung ginawa ni VP Sara who was then mayor. So, ang nakikita ko po, mas ma-establish nila dun kung ano lang nangyari noong 2011 eh, but not necessarily the violent character, kasi a violent character, that's a mental condition, so that should be left to the expertise of expert witnesses. And then, yung isa pa pong masasabi ko dito is yung ground na ginamit nila dito or nirelate po nila dito, if I'm not mistaken, is culpable violation of the Constitution, other high crimes, and betrayal of public trust. So kung makita po nyo dun sa tatlong yun, hindi naman talaga direct issue yung violent character. So, ang gusto po talaga nila ma-prove doon is that yung highly controversial na press con na yon amounted to dun sa alleged attempt sa buhay nga ni PBBM, Speaker, and ni First Lady. So, yun talaga yung main issue doon, whether or not that amounts to a crime po ba yung ganong action ni VP Sara. Kasi kung hindi yun siya mag-a-amount to a crime, edi ang sagot po dyan, like what VP also used as defense is right to free speech na yun. So you have to remember, sa right to free speech, it is not absolute. Yung exceptions po dyan is if yung statements ninyo ay nagiging criminal na in nature. So therefore, kailangan mapakita yung elements na criminal act na yung ginawa ni VP. Otherwise, the mere violent character, ko ako nga po tatanungin, is circumstantial at best to establish that impeachable offense. But of course, that will depend on the senator judges po kung ano yung magiging decision talaga nila dyan. But I am just fully explaining this po to all of you para hindi kayo maligaw kasi of course, nami-mix and match ngayon yung mga political statements from actual legal theories. So kung papakinggan lang po natin yung political statements like what I have repeatedly explained ay maganda po talaga yung pakinggan sa taong bayan kasi yun naman po yung trabaho ng politicians talaga, diba? They make statements na interesting statements pero on the legal side of things, dapat tingnan din po talaga ng maayos yan ng senator judges natin. Kasi yung main issue naman talaga dito is whether or not yung ganung action ba will amount to a crime which will therefore result to an impeachable offense. Yung character ng tao, kahit na po gaano pa kapangit ugali mo, mapagmura ka, so on and so forth. Kung hindi naman po yun krimen, edi hindi po yun illegal. 'Di ba? So yan po ang magandang maintindihan nyo talaga as to this issue naman. So yan lang po, hopefully nagka-idea kayo as to certain legal theories and principles that could possibly apply to these articles of impeachment. Okay, so yan lang po ang masasabi ko as to this issue. Kung curious naman po kayo tungkol dun sa Tacloban school shooting, diniscuss ko po yan dito sa video na to. And until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!